real stories, real calls, and real trauma. With over 20 years of experience working as a paramedic in the streets of New York City, I gotta tell you, man, this video by far is one of the best videos I've seen representing what first responders do on a day-to-day basis, and I just gotta react to it. Bro, you're about to see chaos, people getting tripped by police officers, shootouts, stabs, fires, but what stuck with me the most was the advice that one of the paramedic firefighter brothers shared at the end. And I'll tell you about it when we get there. For each one, I'll share my input into what stood out to me the most with all my years of experience. So let's get into it.
We're cutting the meeting short.
He said we cutting the video short, like literally it looked like he just walked in and next thing you know he's being called to an assignment, an emergency, somebody needing him. Sometimes you show up to work, your car's not even parked properly and you're being assigned to a cardiac arrest halfway across town. This is how fast it happens, bro. There's no time to warm up. There's no time to breathe. You better hope your boots were tied because you got to get in service. And once you're in service, you're liable to respond to any type of emergency where they need you most.
My uncle had been a fireman. I always had an interest in it. Just something in me clicked right then that I wanted to switch.
Yup, that's the calling. That's your purpose. Ever since you're a little kid, you look in awe at the firefighters driving around lights and sirens. For some of us, we've been wanting to do this since we were kids. For others, it's just a key out the hood. It's just job security. And some other people just want a career change. But at the end of the day, that click when you know that this is what you want to do, you want to help others, it feels invigorating to proceed with purpose, to know exactly what it is that you're going to do on a day-to-day basis. And you could walk around with your chest out and you could be proud that what you do makes somebody's life better or has the potential to save somebody's life. Yeah, that feeling right there of when it clicked, I know that all too well. There's no unhearing that click. There's no unhearing that voice inside that encourages you to do God's work and to help people.
Apparently this car crash was connected with a nearby shooting, threatening to take over the situation. What the f*** is about to happen?
Bro, when you're on scenes like this, everybody got your six. The police officers are watching your back, firefighters as well, and we're trying to help these people, but a lot of them aren't used to this type of scenario. They're not used to dealing with these types of emergency. I mean, think about it. You got a car that flipped over, a car accident, somebody got shot, people running, people screaming. There's a lot going on in broad daylight. But one thing I will tell you about the first responders on this scene and the majority of first responders worldwide, this is when we thrive. So right now, most of these brothers and sisters, they're very calm.
And what's the call that we're getting?
We get cardiac arrest.
So what's going through your mind in a call like this?
Make sure I know where the med bag is, especially since I'm new, whether or not I'm going to have to drive the engine back.
I remember my first cardiac arrest, bro. My mind was racing the same way. My heart was beating. On calls like this, especially in the beginning, you start getting nauseous, you start getting lightheaded just to know that the person's life is in your hands. And that's why the big brother, he's got like a mental checklist that we're trained to have. Do you have your oxygen? Do you have your AED? Do you have your defibrillator? Do you have your 12-pack or your Zol's monitor? Do you have the equipment that you're going to need to save this person's life? There's like a checklist that goes through our mind. Scene safety, BSI, which is body substance isolation. And this brother handled it real well, man. He tried to keep calm, but at the same time, he was able to communicate. So shout out to you, Mr. Strong. I felt that, bro, for sure.
Since they're going to need all hands on deck in the med unit.
What's crazy about this job is you might be interacting with people during the last time they ever see their family member alive. I don't know. Most of the day, I thought I could do this job.
Facts, bro. Bro, we show up to people's houses in the worst time of their life, possibly the last moments, on holidays like Thanksgiving, to be working up a cardiac arrest. This gentleman had a heart attack in his living room and then died in front of his family. And his wife and kids are crying, and she's trying to keep the kids in the bedroom so they won't see us intubating his father, so they won't see us putting a needle in his bones. Police officers trying to control the scenes, and it gets crazy. And the car accidents, the cardiac arrest, the stabs, the pediatric cardiac arrest when little kids die in your arms. It's hard, man. There's a lot of emotion. There's a huge emotional toll when these things happen. There's a lot of grief. And yeah, man, the job that we do on a day-to-day basis could definitely tax your mental health, especially if you don't have positive venting mechanisms. A big portion of this job could be very overwhelming for sure. Those urges to cry, bro, that emotion, all first responders who've dealt with a PTSD causing call, they had that one call that they will never forget.
And blood was just coming up out of the carpet.
Oh. Is PTSD something in the firefighter community?
Yes, yeah, and it's becoming more and more recognized now. That's why I said we have the peer support team.
For sure, man. These calls, matched with, in the majority of cases, being overworked and underpaid, and you have stresses in your personal life and your professional life, working long hours, being away from the family, it takes a toll on you. It takes a big toll on you. I remember I had a partner who, it looked like he was having issues. It looked like he was hurting. And I asked him, bro, how could I help, man? Let me help you. Let me tell you what worked for me. Let me tell you how I got out of the gutter. Let me tell you how I stopped having those suicidal thoughts. Unfortunately, he didn't want to handle the conversation in that moment, and a week later, we found out he committed suicide. A lot of first responders, especially during COVID times, from all the stress and seeing all the dead bodies. I worked in COVID myself, and to see all these dead bodies put inside of a freezer, stacked on top of each other like boxes because of all the bodies dropping, it causes PTSD. And if you don't have a positive venting mechanism, if you're not leading a healthy lifestyle, brothers and sisters, for you who are watching, it'll become overwhelming. And you can handle it. You can do it. You can fight back. And I just want to share with you, one of the ways that has worked for me is to lean into fitness, lean into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, lean into martial arts, lean into the community that comes from leading this lifestyle. That way, even though you're working long hours, even though you're working overnights, and sometimes you're forced to go to the drive-thru, you can still reduce the impact from the calls and the schedule that you have by making yourself stronger, not only mentally, but physically. So if you want to know exactly what happened to me or how I fixed it, better yet, the Swiss Army knife of health and wellness is martial arts. The Swiss Army knife of being healthy is martial arts. So I highly recommend to my brothers and sisters, especially those that can attest to the fact that they're feeling PTSD, please, whatever you do, join your local martial arts dojo, and the benefits outweigh the risk. And whatever it is that they charge you per month, if that school that you're signing up to is a good school, it'll be worth that and more. Please, my people, take care of yourselves. A lot of people relying on you. The public is relying on you. Your family's relying on you. And you got this, for sure. No doubt about it.
59 years of age, and I've been doing this for 35 years with the Akron Fire Department. I served 4 years in the military, and I worked for the city 2 years prior, so in uniform or working for the city, 41 years of my life of sacrifice.
And as you can see with this brother, and thank you for your service, he went from one public service sector to another, over 40 years of experience helping the people. Man, that deserves a round of applause, bro. Public service. Whether you're an essential healthcare worker, a military person, a person who works in sanitation, a school teacher, a police officer, a paramedic, a firefighter, I want you to notice something. It's pretty much all the same. We're here to serve the public. If you think about David Goggins, he did all these years in the Navy, and now he's a wildland firefighter, paramedic / EMT.
Most everybody on this job would do that, but the guys you work with, you know who, if somebody went down in there, there's not one person that I work with here that would not do everything in their power to get me out. Or
100%, man. The more time you spend together, the stronger the bond becomes. Think about the bond between people in the military. Think about the bond that you see in a firehouse between police officers. What ends up happening is you have so much time together, you do such dangerous calls, near death experiences, that this makes the bond so much stronger. So definitely one of the perks of working as a first responder is, by the way, guys, I'm a board eligible medical doctor, and I'm still a paramedic because of the camaraderie. The corporate America type of stabbing in the back environment is not seen as much when you're in type of this environment, because everyone that's under this roof is into helping others. And if they're helping strangers from the street at 2 a.m. and leaving their houses to go help people who are calling 911 for headaches, or because they're drunk, or because they had a domestic violence issue, whatever it is, most first responders will bend over backwards for those patients, for those 911 callers, for those civilians needing their help. So if they're willing to do that for those civilians who they barely see or may only see once in their life, then for sure they're going to do it for the person that they break bread with in the firehouse, that they share the ambulance with, the person that they're working these 12, 24, 48-hour shifts with. So the brotherhood amongst the EMS community, especially those that respond to 911 calls, it's priceless. It really is.
We're going to the hospital. Why am I going to the hospital? How am I going to get back? Put her in jail. I don't give a fuck. Listen, hey, I need you to calm down. Okay? Stop fucking talking to me. You got stabbed. We got to help you. You ain't helping me, man.
That's exactly what you could expect, man. For the most part, people are very appreciative that you're there to help, but every once in a while, you're going to have that patient who's irate, who is under the influence, and the most you can do while trying to help them is encourage them and remind them that you're there to help them, because sometimes they're blinded by the uniform. If you're a paramedic and you have a dark blue uniform, and so does the police, remember, we're the good guys, and sometimes they look at police officers as the bad guys, and then they'll lash out at you. So just so you know, the way these guys handle it, reminding him like, hey, you got stabbed. Hey, brother, we're here to help you. That by far is one of the best ways that I have found to communicate with these people that are irate. So you're like, hey, it's basically like you snapping them out of it. Like, wake up, man. We're here to help you. What are you doing? Even though that doesn't work every single time, big shout out to those brothers for at least trying. You don't want to make this guy more irate by raising your voice at him or offending him or making him feel bad. Then it becomes an issue where that person gets arrested, where that person gets sedated, where that person may hurt you or bite you. There's a lot of times where patients or patient family members assault first responders, including paramedics. So these guys, they handle it perfectly. A lot of people skills. They were assertive. They led the patient. They told them what it was, and they respected him, and they were patient advocates. So that was awesome.
The number one killer of firefighters.
Obviously, cancer is a big one. A lot of them are the byproducts of combustion. That's what we're exposed to every day.
I've actually served as a paramedic standby, ALS standby, in some really, really big 5-alarm New York City fires in the winter, in the summer. And I tell you, we put on the bunker gear, which is the highly reflective clothing that the firefighters wear, but our clothes is actually very, very similar in design, but it's a different color. So then that way everyone on scene knows who's the firefighter and knows who's the paramedic. And in case you didn't know, in New York City, paramedics and firefighters work on two different vehicles. In the majority of America, the people that respond to calls are paramedics slash firefighters. And what I'm trying to share with you is this smoke inhalation. Like every time I used to go to a fire, MCI, mass casualty incident standby, I would need my face mask, because even though I was not inside of the fire, the air for me, especially as an asthmatic, was a little bit difficult to breathe. The clothing that you wore, the smell and the soot of the smoke would stay on your clothing, even through the layers and layers of bunker gear clothing. So the fact that firefighters have to deal with cancer, it's very unfortunate, but it makes sense because the combustion from all these chemicals and these things and the amount of time they stay inside of the hospital, inside of the burning building, it's a lot of toxins that they're taking in. So shout out to the firefighters, and I hope a speedy recovery for anybody who's been diagnosed with cancer related to the job, or anybody in general, man. A speedy recovery to you. And one thing that they mentioned as well is that there's protocols in place. They have better equipment now. They use the sauna, and they do a lot of things to hedge the damage that's caused by this smoke exposure.
I guess that one of the biggest things that sticks out to me about this job is it doesn't matter if it's 2 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m., how tired you are, someone needs help, you gotta run out the door and go. And there's a lot of these men that sacrifice their sleep, their bodies, their health.
In a nutshell, bro, that right there, that's the job. It doesn't matter what time of day or how we feel. If we're clocked in and we're in uniform and you need us, we will be there. Even though we leave our families at home to help out yours, we don't regret it. It's something that all paramedics, all firefighters, all police officers are proud of. So that right there, even though our job can be exhausting, as soon as that tone drops, as soon as that call for help is in the air, we will be in the air on our way to your house to help you or your spouse and help you in your time of need. It doesn't matter whether it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. You could count on us. No doubt about that.
Much different than post 9/11 when, we were rock stars for about a year.
I remember something very similar. Working in COVID, working in Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Rita, Hurricane Sandy. In those times of needs, paramedics, first responders, firefighters, police officers, we're heroes. We're like rock stars, just like he said. Remember during COVID times when at 7 p.m. people will start clapping for first responders and essential workers nationwide? Of course. I remember that like yesterday, man. Going down the block, hearing people clap for you at 7 p.m., going into restaurants, and there was restaurants that were actually catering our food. FEMA was giving us food. Apartments and hotels were being put available for first responders. So definitely in times of need, that help that the public gives us, that acknowledgement that the public gives us, it's much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much.
This is a job that I think you can genuinely change someone's life and have brotherhood and have purpose.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate what you do, man. Thank you for doing this with us.
No problem.
Yeah, man, it's one of those jobs where you will be working a lot of hours. You may not be getting compensated what you should be getting compensated for risking your life. It's a job that there's a lot to handle and a lot of responsibility. Just driving the ambulance, just driving the fire truck, lights and sirens. You not only have your life in your hands, but you also have the life of your partners and the public, the people that are the pedestrians, the people that are driving beside you during your response to a scene, lights and sirens and with this heavy vehicle. But when you step off the ambulance, when you step off the fire truck in uniform and you're in shape, you're healthy, you can be proud of yourself for doing God's work. God's work was to heal people, and you're here healing people some way, somehow, just helping them off the floor or giving them a life-saving medication, no matter what the scope of work is, at the end of the day, the work is something you can be proud of. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a medical doctor who still focuses on emergency medicine services, pre-hospital care, because I've never seen this type of boots on the ground type of work. It's literally, we are the infantry of medicine. Paramedics and first responders are the infantry of medicine. And when you have firefighters slash paramedics nationwide, then they are the infantry of medicine as well. And being infantry, it's badass. It's something you could definitely be proud of, bro.
She's breathing. She's breathing. All right, dear, we're gonna move you over onto the Zrees, okay?
Did you see the teamwork? One person's in charge of making patient contact. The other one's in charge of setting up the oxygen. The other one's in charge of bringing the transport device. Everyone at the end of the day is focused on helping this patient. Did you see the apartment? A lot of times we go into places where people have a bunch of cats and there's dogs all over the place and you're stepping on them, and sometimes they may have a raging dog. Like, guys, I've been to apartments where a person had like 100 rabbits in her 1-bedroom apartment in the Bronx, in the projects, and she was in cardiac arrest, defecation, urination, and it was smelled horrible with the rabbits and with her. They had a long time without seeing her, and we can't focus on doing anything besides helping this person, getting her out of there. And that's what you see with them. They're trying to stabilize her, but they're also trying to get out of there because there's a lot of stuff in the way. Like, there could be needles on the floor with like hepatitis or HIV. There could be a dog. There could be a drunk family member. There could be so many different things going on that the first thing people want to do is help the patient. And after you help and stabilize the patient, you want to get them out of there and get yourself out of there, because you don't want to catch bed bugs. You don't want to smell what you're smelling anymore. So the teamwork that you see during this call right here at this person's house, it's class A. It's awesome. The only time someone who works EMS in New York City would experience something like this, for the most part, is during a deployment to a natural disaster, to a deployment or contract work as a first responder. I personally, and all the EMTs and paramedics in New York City, we don't get to experience this type of vibe that much. The majority of time, we're assigned to a street corner, and that's where we stay. That's what we'll end up doing the whole time. So it felt pretty awesome to see those guys breaking bread together, eating together, and once again, sharing food, sharing experiences. That's what builds the camaraderie that you're seeing and being mentioned in this video so much.
You know, we always say you're having a normal reaction to an abnormal event.
Did you hear that? The wisdom that brother just shared? Let's run it back.
You know, we always say you're having a normal reaction to an abnormal event.
You're having a normal reaction to an abnormal event. Bro, mental health matters. Mental health matters. Once again, to my brothers and sisters out there, I've had partners who have committed suicide. I've also considered it myself. Please, I want you to understand, you're not alone. Even if you're in Ohio and I'm in Florida, or someone's in Alaska and the other one's in California, we're walking in the same boots. We understand you. We've been there. I know what you're going through. I know what it's like trying to pay the bills. I know what it's like trying to get overtime. I know what it's like counting your dollars and trying to choose the right food and drinking energy drinks at night to try to stay awake from the 24-hour shift. And then when you get home, the sun is out and everybody's making noise and you're drinking melatonin to try to go to sleep. This is extremely, extremely, extremely this is a heartfelt message, bro. You are just having a normal reaction to an abnormal event. Please understand, my people, we choose this profession even though it's at our own expense. So to all my brothers and sisters out there, I hope my strength gets shared with you. I hope you stay strong. I hope you become resilient so that you won't succumb to the mental health attacks that we receive on a day-to-day basis. And once again, I'm here for you. Just shoot me a message wherever you want and I'll help you. I'll share with you and I'll pay to you my blessings. I want to pay my blessings forward. So if you just know you're not alone, you're just having a normal reaction to an abnormal event, please reach out to me or someone at your workplace that you trust or whoever you want. But whatever you do, don't bottle it up inside. There's plenty of men and women just like you who are doing Uber Eats, who are doing Uber, who are working a second job at Target or got 3 different EMS jobs just to pay the bills. So you're not alone. We're with you.
I've seen at the ends of shifts where guys have sat down together or gone to another location together and sat down and cried about something. And it's good to get that out.
Whether you're a first responder or not, if you are dealing with stress, it's good to get it out, just like the brother said. But please understand, there's something beneficial that can come from also leaning into exercise. For example, if you're stressed out and you go out for a walk in nature in the park, that's going to be as beneficial or even more beneficial than speaking to somebody about it. Please be mindful. A lot of times these conversations of stress, of venting, occur with alcohol in sight or at a therapy office where the person who's listening to you may be able to help you, but all they're doing is listening. The best way to proceed is to stay solution centered, and the solution is always to get out of your mind and get into your body. The solution is get closer to God. There's so many different ways that you can remedy this, and talking is one of them. But I want to encourage you, be sure to walk the walk and not only talk the talk, because the wellness industry nowadays, they'll have you thinking that meditating in the woods for 5 hours at a time is how you're going to be healthy. They'll have you thinking that having a goat walk on your back and defecating on your back is the way you're going to be healthy. I've heard people say, like, yeah, I talked to a therapist and I also bought some magnets and I hover it around my kidney failure because the magnetism is going to cure my kidneys. So just please, my people, it's a slippery slope and I know it all too well. So please stay action-centered, stay solution-centered for sure.
We see a lot of stuff people should not see, and we have to deal with it. Luckily, we have each other, and we just confide in each other and try to get through it. Some people pick up some bad habits and stuff along the way, but you got to cope. We're all human. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, bro, and I couldn't have said it better myself. And those bad habits, guys, a lot of times people think about bad habits, and they're thinking about alcohol. They're thinking about drugs. But those bad habits could be a website. Those bad habits could be a pastry. It could be food. It could be video games. It could be gambling. So brothers and sisters, whether you're an EMS provider or paramedic or whatever type of occupation you have, please be mindful that halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If you're making decisions in any one of those situations, whether you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you're going to choose a coping mechanism that is most likely not beneficial to you. So please, my people, do be very mindful.
Don't put that on my foot.
And just like that, in a split second, you went from having a nice day, taking your girlfriend for a ride, probably on the way to a restaurant for dinner time, to broken leg and a stay at a hospital.
Guys, I've had patients who went to the Dominican Republic on vacation, had a few drinks in Christmas, and came back with liver failure. They came back wishing that they get blessed with donation of a liver from somebody who's dying and they need a transplant. Guys, in a split second, your life will change. In a split second, things will happen, whether it's a car accident, a broken bone, a diagnosis. I want to share with you guys some sense of urgency. Please, bro, every second that passes, we get closer to our death. I don't mean to be morbid. I just want to be realistic. Everyone is getting older, and that expiration date is approaching. So please, have a sense of urgency in life. Take care of your life. Take care of your family members. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody that you appreciate them. Send them a text message. Greet them. Because it may be your last chance to speak to them.
Keep working hard. Keep doing the work, be physically strong, mentally strong. Never hesitate to ask questions. Fire station doors are usually always open. Ask the guys, hey, what did it take to get into here? What, especially with specific departments, they might have different requirements.
Guys, that right there is one of my favorite parts of the entire video. This brother is leading by example and giving really sound advice. And he said, stay physically and mentally strong. And that way you'll be better equipped to deal with the stresses of life. And also, what he mentioned about go to your local firehouse. Ask them, how can I get in here? How can I get a job? Guys, this is exactly how I got out of the hood. I was destined to life in prison or death. 9 out of 10 of the people I was raised with are either dead, in jail, or been to jail. My past is very different from my present. And what saved me was becoming a first responder. What saved me was asking an EMT, hey, how can I do what you're doing? So that piece of advice, it hit home. Like literally, this is the way that I was able to change my life around, by becoming a public servant. So if you're watching this and you want to know what it is, what it means to be a paramedic, to be an EMT, to be a firefighter, it means to be selfless. It means to save your own life while you're helping other people stay alive as well. And these people that you're asking, they're willing to pay their blessings forward. These people that you're asking were in your shoes. They know where you're coming from. You're looking for job security. You're looking for something you can be proud of. And they have job security. They are proud of what they're doing. And they're going to take you under the wing. And that's what happened to me. I used to show up to work sagging my uniform pants. And these guys, these gentlemen, these ladies, they taught me how to drive an ambulance. They were the father figure that I didn't have at home. Working with a grown man, 25, 35 years old. At the time, I was 18. Fresh out of GED school, general equipment, because I dropped out of high school. My past is very different from my present. These people took me under the wing, and they helped me. And this is one of the reasons why, this is another one of the reasons why I'm so proud of being a paramedic. Yeah, man, this is not just another ride-along video. It's a behind-the-scenes look of what we're thinking, what we're doing, what we're eating, how we're feeling, and the type of stuff that we go through. So if this moved you, there's another part of the video that moved me was when Tommy G, and big shout out to Tommy G, bro. I'm a fan for sure. When he shared about his loss, man. So I just want to tell you, bro, your father's proud of you, man. A lot of people are proud of you, including myself, bro. You're doing a lot of awesome things, and I personally have benefited tremendously and learned a lot from your content. And the things I've learned, I've used in myself to protect myself. So, bro, I know everyone is rooting for you, and your dad is proud of you, man. So may he rest in peace, bro, and may God bless you and continue to bless your loved ones as well. And keep rising, bro. Keep winning, keep shining. I know there's a lot of stuff going on where you may be having some roadblocks, but you're running those roadblocks right the fuck over, bro. So keep doing your thing, bro. You're killing it, bro. And by the way, guys, you don't have to be a first responder to help people. Help out your neighbor. Smile. Help the old lady next door. Cut her lawn. Give somebody a hug. Do something that you expect nothing in return for. Don't forget the forgotten. Remember, people. Choose compassion over convenience. Choose mercy over judgment. Choose service over yourself. And then you'll be really reflecting the heart of God. And that's what we do, whether we're conscious or unconscious about it. So I hope this video gave you an insight of the type of things that we do and how we do it and how we feel. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below. Much love, y'all. Peace.